Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel, Suburban Sil. So today's plant diary, I just thought I would talk about and show a few rare plants that I've picked up the last couple months. And I kind of don't like to use the word rare. I would say they're probably more just hard to come by plants that you just don't see every day. A couple of them I got a couple months ago, and then one really fun surprise I picked up today. So first up, I will show you this Raven ZZ that I got back in April or May. Usually when I would show up at the nursery to try to get one of these, because they would have limited shipments, they would just be gone. And so I wonder if maybe because of the current quarantining situation, I was able to get my hands on one, as normally I wouldn't. Either way, I'm very happy to have this Raven ZZ. I repotted it right away into a very coarse soil, cactus mix mixed up with some kind of stone pumice. And the care for this one is pretty similar to the care for a regular ZZ. And I've had my large ZZ plant for about 3 or so years now. So I plan to care for this one the same as I do that one. This one though, because it is black, I'm going to put it a little closer to the light, I think. I'm not quite sure how that affects the photosynthesis with the coloring, but I do put this one in indirect light fairly close to a window, where my other ZZ is actually kind of far away. And maybe I just like this one more, I don't know. But I water about once a month, and I water very deeply to make sure that everything runs out the bottom. But that's pretty much the basic care for the ZZ. I mean, I think you can do a light fertilizer maybe during the growing season. I don't do a ton with fertilizer, but I don't think that would hurt in the summer months. You know, these plants like to be root bound. So when I repotted it, I put it in a pot the same size, just with new soil, because I could tell the soil wasn't the best. So there's a look at my ZZ Raven, which I hope I can grow just as long as my regular ZZ plant. Next up, I have this little Rhaphidospora Tetrasperma. So these plants are fairly hard to come by. You don't see them very often, and I could just get my hands on a cutting. But when I got it, it was just 2 little leaves. And so far, we've got 1, 2, 3, and then another one coming in, 4 new leaves within about a month or a month and a half. So I think that's a good sign. These like to be a little bit more wet. I mean, I don't want to say wet. You want to keep the soil evenly moist, but it also needs to be really well draining. It doesn't like to sit in a lot of wet soil. So, so far it looks like I've been doing a pretty decent job. Since it was a little cutting, I was nervous that I wasn't going to be able to take very good care of it, but so far so good. And I think when I get to a certain level, I'm going to repot it and maybe get it climbing up on a moss pole. These are climbers, so they like to climb. And so I'm hoping that I'll be able to get this one set up on a nice moss pole. But here is the Raphidospora Tetrasperma. So cute. The last plant that I want to talk about is one I just picked up today. So I was at the grocery store, and I was really shocked to find a Alocasia zebrina. And it's a big one. And I love Alocasia. You might remember my pink dragon that's sitting behind me here, which right now only has a couple leaves, but I got a new one coming in. I've had a tiny dancer. It did not like me, so I'm really hoping that I can do good by this beautiful zebrina specimen. You can see the stripes on the stems. Lovely big leaves. I actually one time had a little baby zebrina plant, and you know, the little plants are sometimes hard to keep, and we did really well together for a few months, and then it just it just didn't work out. So I'm really excited to get this larger one that I think I'll be able to maintain a little bit better. So they're gonna like an evenly moist soil, but I think you can actually let these dry up a little bit more, but you never want them to get completely dry because then they'll be more susceptible to pests, and then you'll start seeing the leaves brown and then all kinds of problems. I sometimes run into that with my Alocasia poly, but I've had that for, I don't know, 4 years, and we just have a roller coaster of a relationship, let's just say. So here's the Alocasia zebrina. It's gonna like a bright indirect light, maybe like a medium indirect light, but it likes to stay warm, and it does like an increased humidity. So it wouldn't hurt to spritz this one every once in a while, or maybe even set it on a pebble tray filled with water. That'll also help increase the humidity, or maybe set it with some other plants or something like that. But I have a nice warm corner where this is going to go, and I think that it's gonna really like it. I'm not gonna repot it for a while. Since I just got it today, I'm gonna let it kind of get used to my home. It came from the grocery store, an artificial light, so I'm sure it's gonna be shocked a little bit. And then I will repot it in some nice soil that's kind of moisture retentive but also well draining, and hopefully we will have a long-lasting relationship. But there you have the Alocasia zebrina. I just love the stems and the look of this Alocasia. So this is like my third that I currently have in my collection. So let's see how we do. So thanks for checking out this quick video on a, I don't know, rare plant haul or a hard to come by plant haul. And you know, in a few months, if I see some fun things happening with these plants, I'll do an updated video. But right now, everyone's lovely and healthy and doing just fine. So thanks for checking out my video. And don't forget, you can follow me on social media at SuburbanSyl on Instagram, or check out my website at suburbansyl.com. Thanks, and I will see you next time.